Hi, writers. It's Mrs. Tomelli, and I wanted to go over just a little bit about the journal assignment that I've asked you to start working on while we are doing our remote learning. Journaling is something that lots of people recommend everybody do. It's a great way to keep track of things that are happening in the day to day life. It's a great way to get your feelings out. It's pretty fun to look at too when you look back at your journal for lots of reasons. You can see how much you've grown as a writer, and you can see what was going on. Things that you may have forgotten about pop up in your journal. I found a journal of a vacation that Nathan and I created, and I had forgot about some of the things that happened on that vacation. I wrote this 3 years ago. I found out I should have put the date up in the corner. That's one of the first things we'll do. This journal was in a sketchbook, and that's one of the things I'll talk to you about today, too. But I found out after looking back at this that on this vacation, we actually drove through the city that had the first Chick-fil-A. So we stopped for lunch, and that was written here right in my journal on Friday, June 9th. And I went back and thought about it, and it was June 9th, I believe, 2018. It might have been 17, though. 2017, yes. Okay, so I'm going to add that year up there so I don't forget it. So, remote learning journals can take place in lots of different modes. You can write in Google Docs, you can write using slides, or you can write on a piece of loose leaf paper or in any kind of notebook that you have at home. Now, what you will write really should be your creation. You will be able to have free space to write whatever you want, or there will be some prompts that I put there to give you some ideas. So if you look at the screen, I decided to write a journal about my weekend, and it is in a paragraph form. So let's keep an eye on that. I'll use the things like a topic sentence, supporting details, and a closing. I did put some things on your lesson plan about a hamburger. If you've learned how to do paragraphs, and we've talked a little bit about that in class, like having the meat in the middle, those are all your details. You'll see that in my paragraph too. Now, I started my paragraph with a date. I wrote this today on April 5th. However, you're going to be hearing it on April 6th. Your journal will start on April 6th. So April 6th, 2020. And then I put an indentation where I start my new paragraph, and I wrote my journal. I wrote about my weekend. I had a really good Saturday. It was a beautiful, warm day outside. We played outside a lot during the day, and then we ordered a pizza kit that was dropped off at our house. It was cool to see what different restaurants are doing since we can't eat inside um, restaurants. It was fun to make pizza at home. Then we set up a big screen and made a fire. We had a movie night outside and watched the new Aladdin movie. I loved getting to spend time with Nathan. It was a pretty perfect Saturday. Okay, so this journal's done on a Google Doc. I wrote Mrs. Homelli's Journal Remote Learning 2020, and then each day I can add on to this as a running document. So you might have a lot of pages. Can you add pictures? Sure. Do you have to submit something to me today? No. This is your journal, so I actually want it to be something that you can look at and have some things that are private. There may be times like I may ask for one journal entry to be shared with me for the week to show that you are writing. I will help you with your journal if you want to talk about what you could write about during our Comet Connect time. And I mentioned that in our plans too. So grab your pen or your fingers and get writing. Thanks, writers.